Hey guys, Dr. Kurt here, and I want to give you some insight into figuring out your fatigue. Um, Instead of tackling it from just labeling it a symptom and just trying to suppress it and like squash it, what I want to do is just guide you through a way of supporting it through systems and sequence. And I think once you break it down into this, you get results a whole lot more efficiently. So, with that said, what I also want you to consider is that fatigue um, is not a crappy experience ruining your life, but instead it's the body's intelligent way of slowing you down. And it's doing this to create time and margin for you to heal and repair, because most of us are on the go all day, every day, and we don't give ourselves time to recover. And so the body will do it for you if you're not doing it consciously um, to help. So the body never does stupid stuff. It's just everything's intelligent. It's just dose dependent. So with that said, there's kind of four things when I'm looking through a person's history, when I'm kind of analyzing their data points, lab values, whatever it is. And so all the way to the right is going to be these symptoms. So from weight gain, depression, fatigue, all this. We're talking about fatigue in general. Now, this is where traditional medicine says, great, we can label you with this. Basically, they're the healthcare system of what? What do you have? How do we squash it? Where what I do and hopefully more and more practitioners are doing is more the profession of why. And so that's where you go all the way to the left and you see the underlying causes. This is getting to the root of stuff. There's not always just one root, but can be layers of roots. And it's going to be how you eat, how you move, how you think, what you've been exposed to, what you've experienced, what you've chosen, all those types of things. So you and I could both have extreme fatigue, but have two totally different life experiences. So just to squash fatigue with whatever, prop it up with stimulants, isn't getting to the root of it. Now, the problem is people want to feel good. They want to feel good really quickly. And so it's easy to say get to the root, but the reality of it is that usually takes a process for it to kick into gear, gain momentum for you to feel better. And so there's two other variables in the middle that we're working with to kind of speed up that process and fill up the gap. And so I'm not going to get into the damage component of it, but I want to get into the body system sequence. And I think this is where most people get hung up. They start a health journey, but they keep hitting roadblocks. And I think it's because of the sequencing. And I got this from a mentor of mine, Dr. Kalish. And once I start implementing this, start understanding it, like things started clicking a whole lot better for it. So think whenever there's a underlying cause of something, so kind of all the way to the left, the first thing that happens is that your brain's going to make this shift. And so we'll call that the first sequence of neuroendocrine. And so your brain is basically telling your body, sprint, fight, jump, run, crawl, whatever you have to do to get out of danger. And in short term, this is like life-saving. Like there's no better way for your body to react. Long term, the problem is two things. One, it's just going to drain energy resources, because if you're trying to sprint all day, every day, that's just going to make you super tired. And so what your body does, the second thing, it now puts the body in a state of tissue breakdown, because you need more resources to keep up with as hard as you want to run. You're not getting it from the external. Your body will start literally eating yourself from the inside to keep up with demand. And so it starts breaking down your own tissues. And so this is where the second system comes into play, in the gut GI system. Now, the gut will be broken down easily because it's only one layer thick. And so your body can free resources really quick from it to feed the neuroendocrine aspect to get you out of danger really quick. The problem is that now it shifts the gut into more of an immune expression and away from digestion. And so now your immune system's on alert, and guess what? That's going to be energy draining. If you're constantly in this protection and now probably an overprotective state, you need more energy, you need more help, you need more fight. And so that ends up where your body does recruit the third system, the liver and detox system, where your liver says, great, I can help out the immune system by producing inflammatory helpers, but it's going to be at the expense of detox. Now, I don't want you to think of detox just like heavy metals, external chemicals, and those types of things, but you have to detox the signals that pushed you into fight or flight just as much as you had to detox formaldehyde. And if the liver is busy fighting and helping with the immune system, now what happens is you don't get rid of, you don't break down those neuroendocrine signals. So they just perpetuate, they stay in the system longer, they keep you amped up. And so you hear a lot of people saying, hey, I'm tired, but I'm wired at night. Like I can lay down, but like my mind is still racing a mile a minute. And so once all three systems are hit, now it just kind of perpetuates in this internal hurricane when everything outside could be going great. Your life could be phenomenal. But because of all these past hits, exposures, experiences, whatever it is, it set this in motion. Now, where I see people getting, I don't know, like it's good intention, but I hear where they get a roadblock is they usually start backwards. So when they start down this health journey, they're like, hey, I'm going to start with a detox. It's kind of low hanging fruit. But the problem is usually it doesn't go very well or doesn't feel very good. Or now they're stirring up stuff in their system that the body can't handle yet. Why? Because there's no way to get rid of it. Because the gut, so that would be like the next thing they're going to do is like, hey, I'm going to support the gut. You don't know if there's a leaky gut situation. You don't know if there's a bacterial overgrowth situation. You don't know if whatever it is. So if the gut doesn't have a strong barrier, strong border, or it's being broken down because of the first part, neuroendocrine, as much as you try to heal and support that gut, you might hit roadblocks. And so that's where I would caution you to not start with a detox, not start with a gut, but kind of assess the neuroendocrine aspect. And it's more broad than what most people think of, just like cortisol and the adrenals. It's neurotransmitters, it's insulin, it's mitochondria, and those types of things. And that's why I love this test, organic acids, because it's going to assess kind of all three of those systems in once, just through some urine. And probably one of the biggest things, especially for energy production, is going to be mitochondria. And if you remember from high school biology, that's where you produce your energy, ATP. And don't think of energy just like you're totally fatigued or you're like totally alert, but energy as far as currency. And if that is disrupted, then everything else in the body is going to be diluted. It's going to get leftover resources. So when you're tackling these health issues, just remember systems and sequence. If you need some help, if you need some guidance, you can give us a call, do a discovery call, and see if we can get you on the right track. So thanks for joining me.